Hi, this is Colonel Rob from the Green Beret Way, and this video is part of our series, The Leadership Toolkit, Foundations of Epic Leadership. In this series, we're going to give you tools and show you how to do all the things that they should have taught you in your management classes, but didn't. Today, we're going to talk about how to cut meeting times in half and make them more effective. So let's face it, many meetings are a waste of time. They often lack a clear purpose, they've got no structure, they default to an hour even when you don't need that much time. Usually there's too many people in the room. Some of the people there always feel the need to speak up just to be heard, which drags the discussion off track. And worst of all, many meetings end without any clear decisions, action steps, and leaving everybody what happens next. Does that sound familiar? The good news is that it doesn't have to be this way. Let's talk about how. So what makes for a good meeting? So to run better meetings, there are 3 critical steps that we need to follow. So let's break them down. 1, start with a clear purpose and invite the right people. Every meeting needs a reason to exist. Is it an informational meeting, a decision-making meeting, a coordination meeting? Without a clear purpose, meetings become aimless and they waste everybody's time. Number 2, keep the meeting structured and focused. A good meeting follows a clear agenda. That means setting time limits for each topic, specifying who will speak about what, and deciding how much time will be allocated for discussion. Make sure this agenda is sent out ahead of time so everybody knows what to prepare for. During the meeting, stick to the schedule, keep the time, enforce the limits, and gently redirect conversations that veer off course. A well-structured meeting respects everybody's time and keeps the discussion productive. And if somebody really feels like they need to just keep talking about this, you can ask them to take it offline, discuss it among themselves, and they can come back and report on whatever it was that they agreed on next time. But we don't need everybody there for that. The third thing we want to do is always end up with clear decisions and follow-up notes. A meeting isn't effective unless it results in decisions and clear next steps. So before you wrap up, review quickly what's been decided, who's responsible for what, and when it's due. But don't stop there. Send out the notes afterwards. These notes should include all the decisions, action steps, and deadlines, so there's no room for misunderstandings later. It's on paper and everybody has it. Publishing the notes and the follow-ups, it also ensures accountability and keeps the team aligned moving forward. Now, you can try and remember all of that and build every meeting from scratch, but there's a much better way. The meeting planner template I've developed takes care of all of this automatically. Why use a meeting planner template? It's the ultimate solution because it actually incorporates all the steps that we've already discussed into one simple tool. And literally all you have to do is start from the top and follow the instructions. But the template makes it quick and effortless. You can plan your meetings in just a few minutes and send out a recap immediately after the meeting ends. Literally before they get back to their desk, they can have the meeting notes in their inbox. Because if it's not fast and simple, you're not going to use it. And that's exactly why I developed this template. So you can use the template in a few different ways. There's a paper version if you prefer to write things down. Some people still do. But to make it faster and really easy, I recommend that you use the fillable form or the email template version that you can build directly into your email system. And here's the best part. You can download all of those versions for free. I'll tell you how at the end of the video.
All right, let's get to our form. At the top, date, time, and location. You'll be sending this out ahead of time. Lets people know where to be. The purpose is important because different meetings have different reasons. Is it a decision-making, problem-solving, coordination, informational? Right at the top, lets people know what to expect. Does the meeting advance a top priority? You want to think about this for a couple reasons. First of all, if it does advance a top priority, make sure you write it here because the people who get invited to the meeting are more likely to show up if it's an important company priority. And secondly, by going through all of this, you should ask yourself, if it's not advancing a top priority, you can still have this meeting, but you should really ask yourself, do we really need to have the meeting? Because the best way to cut down on the time it takes to have a meeting is to not have the meeting at all. Write down who's going to be in charge, top executives don't run their own meetings, so you may very well in the future have somebody else running these, or you might not be there. The note taker. If you are running the meeting, you don't want to be the note taker because you're going to be keeping the time. You're going to be making sure that people stay on track. There's a lot you've got to do. You can't be the note taker at the same time. So get somebody else to do it. It'll be easy because they'll just simply be following along on the form and filling it right in. So don't worry that somebody's going to feel like it's too hard. Attendees, write them all down. If it's a recurring meeting, simple, then you're just cutting and pasting. This is the heart of it right here. You're going to write down what it is that we want to talk about in the meeting. And old business are things that we've talked about in the past, but we still need to discuss or they haven't been resolved. New business, new things, and other could be things that aren't really business, but we still want to talk about. It could be like the company Christmas party and who's going to do what. Still things we want to talk about. Once you've got them all listed here, go back and write in who's going to be talking about each one and whether or not there's going to be any discussion. So you might write in, talk about the new PR program / discussion. Then write in how long the presenter has to actually talk about what needs to be there, and as well as any time for discussion. So say you're going to give the presenter 5 minutes to talk about it, and you're going to allow for 5 minutes of discussion. Here you just write 5/5, and it lets everybody know we're not going to talk about this thing ad nauseum. That way, when you get to your 5 minutes of discussion time and it still seems like something's going on, if it's really important, you can have another meeting about it. If it's really important, you can get the 2 or 3 people that are really seem to be going back and forth on this, have them meet themselves, but we're not going to hold the entire meeting hostage just so that a couple people can work this out. You can say, hey, Jim, hey, Janet, take this offline. Next week, come back. I'm going to give you 3 minutes to talk about what you came up with or why the issues are, but we need to move on. And this will allow you to do that, because if you tell people ahead of time and you're keeping time while you're doing it, guess what? There's just no reason for them to stop. Now, once you list everything out, then you're going to do the important part, which is to go back and assign the priority. Say you've got an hour for your meeting and you've given everything 15 minutes and you have 5 things that you want to discuss. Well, that's an hour and 15 minutes. So you either go back and you adjust the time, or what you do is you assign these in priority, and number 5 we talk about it if for some reason we get through the other ones faster. Now, this has the advantage of getting the people who just love to take over a meeting and love to hear themselves talk of shutting up, because if that thing is something that they want to discuss, they know we're not going to get there unless we can make these other ones go faster. Does that make sense? So this is what you need to have done when you send it out to everybody and let them know. Ideally, you send this out a week ahead of time. Give people plenty of time to prepare. The beauty of this really comes in, though, when it comes time for the meeting itself, because we continue to use the exact same form, the exact same email to take down what has happened during the meeting and what needs to get done and by when. So you've assigned it a priority. So number 1 up here, you write down number 1 here. What's going on? What do we need to do? If somebody has something to do with it, name, right? And you assign the deadline right there at the meeting so everybody hears it, and there can be no equivocation later about, it goes out there, it goes on this. And guess what? You're going to send this out immediately, so everybody's going to have it in writing as well. There's no way somebody can come back later and say, well, I just didn't understand. Okay. And that's it. The great thing about this is when you take the notes directly on the form, you can literally turn around, hit send on your email, and it will be in their inboxes before they get back to their desk. Maybe even before they get out of their chairs and leave the room. The beauty of this meeting planner is that it tells you, it allows you to do all the things that are important to running a really effective meeting. And all you really have to do is just simply follow the format and keep time.
This tool is designed to make your life easier, save you time, and let you lead with confidence. And the best part, I'm giving it to you for free because I want you to succeed. I don't know when I might end up in a meeting that you're running, and I don't want to spend any more time in there than I have to as well too. I want you to run successful meetings, right? And the more people who learn how to do this, the more meetings we'll have which are actually effective and much shorter. All you got to do is click the link below to download it. Now, if you found this video helpful, be sure to like it and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any of the other leader tools and strategies we're sharing in the Leadership Toolkit, Foundations of Epic Leadership. We also share weekly leadership tips that you can use right now on our Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and LinkedIn pages. Follow us there for quick, actionable advice while we're putting the next video together for you. I'd also love to hear from you. Let me know in the comments how the template works for you. If you have suggestions on how we can make it even better, give us those too, because we're always looking for ways to improve. And finally, if you're looking for more actionable leadership tips and tools, stick around. We've got more videos coming your way that will help you take your leadership skills to the next level. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.